Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is August 3rd, 2025. In this video, we're going to talk about the exchange between Medvedev and Trump, their little tit for tat, smack talk. I don't even know what it is exactly, but I find it interesting. We're going to talk about readiness fatigue, y'all. We're going to delve into that just ever so briefly. I'm going to tell you what I've learned from Charlie Brown. You know, the Peanuts character, Charlie Brown, Lucy, Linus, all the gang, the Peanuts gang. I can tell you something I've learned from him that applies to my walk with Jesus Christ, all right? So interesting. This will be somewhat of an interesting, encouraging video. Then we're going to read out of First Peter. So let's just get to it, all right? Now, I don't understand why this snitchy little narrative going on. I'm not all that concerned about, hey, we're going to park two submarines, two Ohio class submarines, nuclear. There, I believe, if I am not incorrect, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm no expert on this, but they are not only nuclear run, like that's the energy they use to actually run the submarine, but these actually have nuclear warheads capabilities on them. So that's my understanding. We're just going to park those casually off the coast of Russia. And then Russia comes back and says, oh, your two submarines are nothing. We've got multiple submarines off your coast. I do not think that's anything new or different. My understanding is we have submarines in waters that are neutral waters that we all travel. All different kinds of countries have stuff like that in the oceans. That's my understanding. I think it's an interesting wordplay in that they're bringing it into the public. So if you didn't like that, now, and I may be wrong about that, but I'm basing that on what I've learned from Goshen Prepper. All right, so I'm just like citing him in this. But I think most Americans or most of populations don't understand that or don't know about that. So for Trump to say that, is he trying to get us used to this kind of narrative? I don't think they plan that far ahead. I know that the Canadian Prepper has been saying, hey, they're trying to desensitize us. That might be true. I kind of don't think they give a rat's ass about us. I mean, I really don't at this point in time. But I'm like, that's just kind of where I'm leaning, all right? I will say that readiness fatigue is a real deal. It's a real thing, y'all. Because how many years, like I was talking to my husband the other day about World War III, and he was like, Gina, you've been saying this for years. And I'm like, yeah, it's here. It's happening now. It's just no one is announcing it. This is World War III. No one is saying that because I don't think we know where the defining line is yet. I think that's something we'll have to look back on in history and say, oh, well, it was at this point. Until then, it's just a war of nations. Every time the Lord talks to me about it, when I'm worshiping the Lord and I write things down in my journal about it, he always refers to it as the war of nations, the war of nations. And so that's what I'm going with, y'all. I believe it has already begun. I am hearing I will say this, that NY Prepper gave a good commentary this morning, I guess he probably posted it was August 2nd or August 3rd. I don't know when he posted, but I listened to it this morning, 2025, about here are some things that are to take note of. And then as weird as it is for me to listen to Monkey Works, and I do listen to him from time to time, once again, I will just reiterate, every time I listen to him, I feel like the dork in the room. I'm like, if we were in high school together, you would not have given me the time of day. I know this to be true because you would have been with the cool kids, and I was never with the cool kids, all right? So but that's how he writes, and I'm just like, I don't even know what you're saying half of the time. I don't even understand these. I don't know this vocabulary, but I listen to him anyway. And today, or in his most recent posting, he has said, he did a very good comparison of point to point what the lead up was to World War II and the same kind of comparison to what we're seeing in the world today. I thought it was excellent. I would encourage you to listen to that. He did a good job. He did a good job. And I was able to listen without feeling like the nerd in the room that everybody's like, I wish she'd just go. She's absolutely unessential here. So anyway, that was my thing with Monkey Works. So I know readiness fatigue is a thing, and I know for preppers that you cannot sustain that adrenaline rush all the time. When we bombed Iran, we all had this flood of this is it, And actually, I've concluded I don't think this is it is ever going to be this. I don't think this is it is coming until I see a mushroom cloud on the horizon. Then I'll know. But until then, I'm like, I don't know. I just can't call it. I will encourage you not to quit preparing physically. Definitely never quit preparing spiritually. And even spiritually, y'all, we can experience readiness fatigue, the readiness for the return of our Lord. We are running a marathon, not a sprint, when it comes to our walk with Christ. We have to remember that. So when people, and I'm not going to get into this, but when people emphasize dates and times, and when they emphasize events and prophecy fulfillment, and then this is what's happening next, and it doesn't happen, or all of these defining structures that really kind of put unnecessary pressure on our spiritual health, dare I say. Be careful with that, folks. I mean, that's all you got to decide yourself. You stay in your lane, you do your deal. But I'm just saying, be careful about that. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I don't care. Well, they got to do what they're called to do. But I know that when I participate in that kind of listening, that kind of input, it makes me feel stressed, and I don't like that. So I don't listen to that kind of talk very much, because it does make me feel like there's a readiness fatigue to the return of Christ, and God's going to come back when he decides to. I'm ready. That's how I'm living, y'all. I'm just going to be ready no matter what. And so whenever it's his time, I mean, I watch things, I see the signs, I understand earthquakes, I understand birth pains. I get that. I see it. I don't know when enough is enough, but God does. And so until that happens, I'm rolling with him no matter what. So that's what I want to say about that. Now then, I will, before we talk about Charlie Brown, I will say, and this is a little bit of a rant. Please don't, maybe it is complaining. This may be complaining. I don't know how best to couch this, but I'm ready for summer to be over. All right, where I live in the Panhandle of Texas, and I know you Australians, you've got critters out there. You got creatures in your country that can kill you while you're sitting on the toilet going to the bathroom. I believe this to be true. I've seen videos, so I know this. So I'm not saying we have it worse than anybody else, but I am tired of finding massive spiders, like this big, that I have to kill in or near my house. I'm tired of course, it's harvest, y'all, and every time it's fall and harvest, it makes the mice run. They come, because they're cutting those fields, it disturbs them. So I've had to put out my traps, which I have, and I've caught them, no big deal. But and then, y'all, to top it all off, I mean, that darn chick got out again. Okay, so I'm not even going to tell you that story. I nearly lost my soul over that one, y'all. But I'll just tell you, my dog caught her in her teeth. And my dog, my little toy poodle, had that chick. That chick is big now. I mean, that chick is like this big. And so, I got my dog, and then I got the chick out of her mouth. And the chick was fine. There was no blood. There were no puncture. It seems to be that there was no internal injuries. And I put that chick back in her brooder box. I don't know what it is. It's like possessed by the devil. That chick. I call her Mother Clucker. Yeah, I do. Except sometimes I'm not that nice about it. Anyway, so that has happened. And then the other day, I was walking barefoot through my utility room, and I stepped on a live skink. A skink. Y'all, I didn't know what a skink was growing up, but recently I have learned because they're all, I don't know, they're like, now they're around they're in our yard, they're in our alley, they are a lizard. And I will tell you, I mean, I didn't freak. It was creepy stepping on it. Like I stepped on it with my bare foot. Um, it was kind of rubbery, felt like, and I've stepped on snakes before, but not barefooted, but this was barefoot. I thought, what in the living H are you doing in my house? I'm going to kill you. That's what I was thinking after I screamed. So it's me and my dog. We're the only ones in the house. So I saw the skink, and they're just Google them. They're like they're a lizard, and most of them looks like a snake, like they have a long tail. And if you just see the bottom half of them, you'll think it's a snake. But the other half of them, they've got these little short arms that it looks like God went like this, and little arms popped out of a snake. That's what they look like to me. So this skink, and they're very shiny. They look like a fish. Their scales are like, they're shiny, like they've been in water, like a fish. So I saw where this skink went. I saw where he went to go hide. And I thought, I got to trap you because I cannot go to bed tonight thinking you are wandering free in the house. No, I cannot think this. So because it was within a cabinet area, like an opening, it's in my, this used to be where Miss Scott, who built this house, Miss Scott had her sewing machine in this area. And so it was a built-in cabinet opening so she could put her legs in it, like a desk. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Gina. That's a good word. Okay, so it's like a desk, and it's built in. So there's just one opening to it. So I got all kinds of plastic bags and tape. Like I got a big long 39-gallon plastic bag. I opened that thing up and I started taping around that opening, like five all the way around, like 5 times, and sealed that skink inside that cabinet. I'm like, you ain't going nowhere. I don't care if you die in there. You can stay there until Christmas, but I do not want to see you again. So that's how I felt. So then I felt a little bit of relief, and then I thought, okay, I know they have teeth. It could probably chew through that garbage bag. So I got to look, and sure enough, a skink can chew through soft plastic. So I thought, I don't want to be in the middle of the night hearing that thing chewing through that stuff. So I thought, I'll get some wire. So I got some wire, got some, like, it's not chicken wire, it's like hardware wire. And I put it against it. So I thought, you can't chew through wire, you little thing. I got to keep this G, y'all, as best as possible. I may have already crossed that line. I'm sorry. But anyway, I put the metal on it. And then lo and behold, when Dakota came home from work, my son, he is the lizard man. He just gently pulled down the top plastic. He used the metal as a little cage. He reached in. Y'all, I had stuffed rags and towels all around it with tape. And anyway, he was able to reach in there, grab that skink, and we took it. We took it way, way far away from my house. So that's why I'm ready for summer to be over. That is why, because I just can't hardly take these people, these little animals and spiders. And I killed something before I came in here. I don't even know what it was on this door in my pantry. It was like a scorpion looking thing. I thought, you're dead. You're going down. Oh, he went down. Like I killed him hard with my shoe. So that's going on. All right, let's talk about Charlie Brown. And then we're going to read out of 1 Peter. All right, it occurred to me. So we're shifting gears here. We're shifting gears a little bit. So hang with me. So I was in conversation with my daughter. We were talking about some things. And she said, Mom, you know the Charlie Brown special, the Halloween one, which we love all the Charlie Brown specials, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas. I mean, all the old ones from the 60s, early 70s. And I said, yeah, the Halloween one. She said, when they go trick-or-treating and how one of them says, I got a popcorn ball. And the other one says, I got a chocolate bar. And Charlie Brown says, I got a rock. And he keeps doing that. Every house they go to, Charlie Brown goes, I got a rock. And she said, if sometimes my life feels like that, like I'm getting the rock, even though it should be a gift, and it probably is a gift, It feels like a rock. So I was telling my husband that, and he said, all of the years that were so hard when our daughter was alive and living, like she lived till she was 11. So for 11 years, when she was chronically and terminally ill, and special needs, when we were dealing with all of that, my husband said it felt like I got a rock. It felt like my life was I got a rock. And it didn't matter. It did not matter one iota what if something could ease that. We did have some relief, and we did have a lot of support and help. So don't hear that, but it still felt like I got a rock. Looking back at that time, I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I got a treasure. I got a blessing. That's what it feels like now. But while it's happening, I feel like Charlie Brown trick-or-treating going, I got a freaking rock. So my point is, wherever you may be on that spectrum, you may have already passed your time where you went through such an intense time of feeling like you were getting rocks in your life. And you can look back and see the good in it now. You may be in the middle of that now, where you're like, I can't even see daylight out of this. So that's okay too. There'll be a day you do, really, truly. Either this side of heaven or the other, but there will be a day you do. There will be light shining on you from the tunnel, end of the tunnel. Oh my gosh! I hope all my preps don't fall down here while I'm grabbing my Bible. So my point is, wherever you are on that, you are not alone. God is with you, and you will eventually see the beauty of the rock. You really will, and it'll feel like a popcorn ball instead of a rock. That is true. Believe it or not. And if you're not going through that season at all or never have, just prepare yourself, because it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before you have to get rocks. And it's not like God gives the rocks. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you live in a sinful world like we do, in a fallen world where Satan is king and reigns here, and you're a citizen of heaven, you can't help but, it brushes up against you. All right, that's just the reality of it. Okay, let's read First Peter and see what our brother Peter has to say about it. First Peter chapter 4, verse 12. And I've read this before, but it doesn't hurt to go to it again. Dear friends, don't be surprised at the fiery trials you are going through, as if something strange were happening to you. As if you were getting a rock in your trick-or-treat bag. Instead, be very glad, for these trials make you partners with Christ in his suffering, so that you will have the wonderful joy of seeing his glory when it is revealed to all the world. If you are insulted because you bear the name of Christ, you will be blessed, for the glorious Spirit of God rests upon you. If you suffer, however, it must not be for murder, stealing, making trouble, or prying into other people's affairs. But it is no shame to suffer for being a Christian. Praise God for the privilege of being called by his name. It is a privilege to follow our Lord Jesus Christ. And don't worry about how hard it gets. I know, just hang in there. Hang in there. You're not alone. The rest of us are with you. You can put your request or your sorrow or your burden in the comment section below. We will pray for you. If you've had prayer answered, write it down. Let us know. That's a great encouragement. If you've had a time where you just got rocks, write that story down and tell how now it doesn't feel that way anymore. Because we are a family. We are a family. We are related to each other through Jesus Christ, our brother. So we share. We share the burdens and we share our stories. And that's how we roll. That's our gig, y'all. All right. I think I'll leave that. Y'all do with that as you want to. Stay safe, America. From the pantry, this is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.